Hey, it may be cold outside, but these cocktails are guaranteed to keep you warm.
Happy holidays from the Moonshiners.
This is how we make the moonshine.
We're gonna start with a Collins glass and some cubes. Very simple. And what I did was, I took Golden Delicious apples and I soaked them in your Dynamite Cinnamon Moonshine. Strain a couple of those. And look at the color that those apples took on. Really, really beautiful pink. We're gonna give you a little bit of moonshine. They're getting a little soft, but they still got a nice little crunch to them. And then we're gonna finish it off with a float of this hard cider here. So it's gonna give it a little more of that apple snap. This is gonna be another one of those refreshers that you can't beat. And what's nice about this is, if you sip it right, you get a little crunch of the apple. Oh, and that moonshine. Now this drink is a little stronger because it doesn't have the same amount of mixer, but it's also like a snack because you get a little apple snack. The color is beautiful. I mean, if you had a tray of these drinks sitting out, do you think that anybody would not walk directly to that tray and pick one up if you were at a wedding, if you were at a party, if you were at a cocktail hour?
People are naturally drawn to moonshine because it's the drink you're not supposed to have.
And I don't think everybody realizes how much craft goes into this process.
There's a tremendous amount of work and a tremendous amount of brain power that goes into making moonshine. Way back in the day, moonshiners got a bad rep about being backwoods, not very smart, and too lazy to work a regular job. Well, I tell you what, making moonshine, it's hard work. You gotta be a chemist, you gotta be a plumber, you've gotta be a scientist, you've gotta be a carpenter. You've got to wear a whole lot of hats to even be able to make moonshine.
So much of this is about craft. So much of this is about the poetry of bringing science and craft together. It's really a beautiful thing.
It's like I've always liked to say, a trained monkey can make moonshine, but it takes a true artist to make good moonshine.
Well, this tastes like a glass of art, if you ask me.
To make this cocktail, you need to start out with your bourbon. We want 6 ounces of bourbon. We want a 3 ounce of cinnamon moonshine. We want a 12 ounce cola, a couple of pineapple slices, 2 ounces of maple syrup, and at least 6 to 8 ounces of sweet tea. But this is gonna make us 3 cocktails. All right, so we're gonna start with our mixing container, which is an old-fashioned mason jar here. And we'll start with our bourbon. We're gonna put a pretty good amount of bourbon in it. We gotta make it taste good. All right, I think that's enough of that. And we're gonna add a little bit of cinnamon moonshine to it. We're trying to make this real simple. You know, this is gonna be real simple. So there's your alcohol. We're gonna add a little cola to it. It's just gonna make a good drink. And we're gonna put a little sweet tea in there. All right. We'll add a little maple syrup. There's my special measuring device here, like that much. There you go. We'll add a little bit of ice to this so we can start to get it to chill. So this is our mixer. We're actually going to pour it in a glass. And we're going to add a few more pieces of ice to it to chill it. Just let it float in there. That's it. But I have another idea. Since we have these pumpkins here, hollow it out, take your cocktail mix, pour it in. I think we could add us a slice of pineapple in there to kind of close it up a little bit, I think, like that. How about that? Let's see what it tastes like. Man, tastes pretty daggone good if I have to say so myself. If that's not a Thanksgiving cocktail, I don't know what is.
A normal gimlet is fresh lime or that Rose's lime that you use, a lime syrup. Here we're gonna use
Fresh lime juice.
fresh lime and fresh lemon, and then a little simple syrup to sweeten it up.
We're from down south, it's syrup.
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 Forgive me, gentlemen. Syrup.
You like it to tickle the olfactory as well as the palate.
Exactly. I want this to be an entirely sensorial experience.
We're boys, we don't have olfactories.
So let me set you up with some glasses. We're going to serve these on the rocks.
Oh.
So one for you, and one for me.
Is that nice right there, Tigger?
That's pretty
Pretty
copper, that's
shaker.
hammered copper.
Yeah.
Nothing but the best.
You know a tiny bit about coffee.
Anything in copper has to be delicious.
Reckon you could manufacture a couple of them, seamless?
And you know what? It conducts the temperature a little bit.
It'll get kind of frosty on the outside,
If I
right?
shake it long enough. Look at this. Right there, you see that condensation?
Ain't that pretty?
That's why we like copper so good.
Now, I wonder what my spatial relations to liquid is, because I don't know if I poured enough for everybody, but I feel pretty good about this.
Well, it's always a given that mine is the fullest one.
Is that how it works?
Right.
Yeah, as long as I get a generous pour, I don't care who else anybody is.
Now let me squeeze the last bit of the garnish here. We're gonna use a lime wedge
Ain't that a pretty looking drink?
for everybody.
That's a right handsome looking drink.
Now I love the color, and I also love that a little bit of opaque, you can kind of see through it and kind of can't. Gentlemen, to syrup.
To syrup.
Syrup.
To syrup.
Cheers.
Mother of pearl.
Is that not special?
Wow.
Same peppermint schnapps.
Peppermint.
I think it's very, very multifunctional. And I'm gonna shake it up just like the last one. Make it nice and cold. And then strain it into the coupe. They call these little baby coupes.
Ain't they just cute as they can
They're
be?
just as cozy as a tick turd in your top dresser drawer, ain't they?
Yeah.
Our little
Fish.
baby shark.
Like the worm in the tequila bottle.
And then put a little blood in the water.
Little bud.
Dun dun. Dun dun. This one needs a little more.
Yeah, that one's not bleeding near enough.
To the carnage. Sharkshot.
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 Let me down. Look at that. Ain't that special?
Yeah, that's too pretty to drink.
It's familiar, ain't it? Jared, thank you so much. That's delicious, man.
It was my pleasure.
Digger, what do you think?
I think this right here would take the place of any nighttime toddy.
Well, first of all, you need some straight Kentucky bourbon whiskey. You need some simple syrup. You need a lemon. You need some ice. You need some mint leaves. First thing you do is cut the lemon in half. Then you want to cut the lemon into pieces. Now you're going to take 6 mint leaves. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pieces of mint. Now you're going to need 3/4 of an ounce of simple syrup. Pour that right in there. I'm trying to smash all this lemon together and this mint leaves together good to get all these juices and flavors mixed together good. Now you want to take 2 ounces of your straight Kentucky bourbon whiskey, a little bit of ice. Then you want to take these, your mixer, and mix them together. Then you take your glass, put a little ice in it. Then you take your strainer, put it in your glass, and pour your drink. Now that you got your glass poured full, now you need a piece of lemon. I ain't fancy, so I ain't gonna put it on the rim of the drink, but you can put that lemon on the rim or in the drink. Now you want a piece of a little sprig of your mint here, put a little mint leaf in there, and then voila, a bourbon smash. Man, that's good.